Hey guys, Vince Luca here, and in this video, if you're like me, who only has maybe an hour or two to play per day, or you want to just get rid of your dailies quickly and your weeklies quickly to get to your main missions and quests, I wanted to make a video where I can show you how to do them as fast as possible, and every one is going to be timestamped. So you can go in the description and look at it and click on it, and it's going to take you directly there. And the point of this video is basically to have it saved, or maybe you could bookmark it or just try to remember the name and come back to it every day until you kind of know these by heart, and then you can do them quickly. Yeah, so let's get into it. First off, you want to make sure that you re-roll the two that take long. It's a free reroll, so might as well use it. Kind of like the daily ops, you might want to reroll, or events. Some events might take a while, so reroll things like that, or things that you think are going to be too hard for you. If you're a new player, like Assaultron might be a difficult thing to kill, so you might want to reroll that. So again, if you want, you can watch the entire video and try to memorize everything. Or like I said, come back, go in the description and click on a timestamp for something that you're looking for specifically, maybe even not for dailies, even weeklies, or if you're looking for a type of material. If you see the material in the description of the video, just click on it and I'm going to basically tell you where to go get it, even if it's not for a daily or a weekly. Maybe you just need that material. And for most of these, I usually go in a private server as a first member, or I'm just gonna join a team to get more XP. Basically, this is kind of like a preference thing if you want to join a team or not, but you'll get more XPs. And if you're really in a rush, maybe going in a private server is gonna be much faster, because you can basically look for things that aren't picked up by anybody else. You don't want to go to a spot that has a bunch of like Nuka Colas and they're all gone because of another player. So let's begin. First off, also it's alphabetical. If you have to do anything with alcohol, like ferment beer or whatever, you basically need to go to a garden and pick up your stuff. Now, Foundation has a garden. If you don't have a garden at all, if you go in front of Foundation, there's a garden. On the right side, you're also going to need boiled water. So if you don't have a water boiler, just boil water at your camp. And with that and corn, you could probably do your beer. So that's how you make alcohol. If you have to consume alcoholic beverages, let's see, you want to go to maybe Whitespring Resort. And over here, there's a bar and you could just buy the alcohol. Again, these videos are to go fast, right? So there's no like... I try to avoid enemies. I try to make fast travel cheap and fast. So you can come to the bar here and just buy alcohol and drink it, and that's gonna unlock that daily or a weekly. For energy ammo, this is a little bit tricky, but if you do have your ammo box and you're part of first, sorry about the flickering, that's Bethesda's doing, you can just pick up ammo from your box, and that's gonna work as a pickup. But if you don't have this box and you need to find energy, what you want to do is go to the South Cutthroat Camp right here under the ski lodge and equip an energy weapon. And there's going to be ammo boxes. I already picked that one up, but equip an energy weapon, and there's like 4 ammo boxes here. So you'll be able to pick up, there's one on each defense. There's one in the safe over here. This is after you killed all the blood eagles in here. There's also a safe. There's a bobblehead in there if you want to pick it up. There's a safe over here. That's probably going to have some ammo. There's a teddy bear. But behind the teddy bear in this red card, there's another ammo box there. So that's going to give you more energy ammo. And especially if you killed all these guys with your energy ammo, you can pick up all that ammo off of them as well. And that's going to give you more energy ammo. So I like coming here because there's a lot of ammo boxes, there's blueprints, there's a trunk, there's ammo, there's always cool things. There's 2 safes, and it's all of this loot for like killing 5 blood eagles. So it's a pretty good camp to get some ammo. All right, you gotta kill an angler. Now for these guys, where you want to go is the gnarled shallows up here, top right corner of the map. And it's a big tree like this, and what you're looking for in the water is little things that are sticking out like that. Kind of looks like a flower or a plant or something, but it's not. If you get close to it, it's gonna come out and bite you. So you can throw a grenade to wake it up and it's gonna come out, and then you could like basically kill it. They're kind of tough, so be careful. If you're new, maybe put some power armor on or whatever, but they're kind of tough. They're not easy. So you could throw a grenade that's going to do some damage first, and when they come out, you can kill them. And there's another spot, the Thunder Mountain substation here for anglers. And if you look on the map, there's a black hole there right underneath it. Thunder Mountain substation. There's some there. Alright, so you got to destroy an Assaultron. There's a few locations. One of them sometimes spawns here at the Red Rocket Mega Shop on top of the Pumpkin House. And if you go around here, there's sometimes, not always, a Assaultron that is going to spawn. So these guys are tough also. So if you're a new player, be careful fighting these guys. They also go invisible. They come in close. They have these blades that do a lot of damage. So if you have power armor, use it and use your most powerful gun, and you'll be able to kill an Assaultron. If you're having a hard time finding one, there's also one sometimes in the basement of the mining headquarters, all the way south of the Ashlands in the basement, or go to Whitespring, and sometimes in the front there's going to be the white Assaultrons. They're friendly, but once you start shooting them, they become enemies, and they still count as Assaultrons that are basically destroyable for your daily. I accidentally called 2, but luckily there was a survival tent from another player here, so I hid in there and I destroyed them. Alright, so you gotta kill some blood eagles. There's 5 of them, 5 or 6 here in the North Cutthroat Camp, and there's another one, South Cutthroat Camp. These 2 camps are good. You're gonna have a bunch of blood eagles in here to kill. And make sure sometimes you have like cripple a leg or cripple an arm. So this is the same thing. It's a good location to do that. There's a bobblehead right here in the southern camp, and in the northern camp here there's a bunch of other blood eagles that you can come and kill quickly. If you have a weekly where you have to kill like 30 of them, I'm going to show you another good spot where there's a lot of them. Sometimes you need to like get the legs and the arms and you didn't quite succeed, but right next to World Tour Nuka Cola in the Ashlands, there's Rolling Labor Camp, and over here there's a bunch. Now if you want to scrap some bones, or you need some bones, a good location is next to Nuka World, Lewisburg. So if you want, you could fast travel to Lewisburg and look for the blue building here with the brick. That's a bit dirty, but this is basically the Taxidermy. It's a corner building, and you want to go in there because there's a bunch of bones if you're looking for bones. There's a skull right here on the counter, so you can pick that up. And then if you go in the basement, there's some antlers that are going to give you bone as well. Go upstairs, and on the table there's more antlers that are all going to give you bone. There's some bone in the garbage next to the desk here. When you're going up, there's a look for the keys here on the plate. You might need them, might not. But in this room here with the green wallpaper and where the bug comes out, there's a bathroom, and here there's a mother load of toilet paper and antlers on the wall and on the floor. And there's also 2 skulls. These are going to give you 5 bone each. So if you're looking for a lot of bone, the taxidermy place is the go-to area. I'm getting 42 bones just from there, so it's a good spot. All right, next up we have brain fungus. You got to do some brain fungus. Where do we get this? If you go to the rusty pick, if you've unlocked it, there's a few brain fungus there. So if you're looking for like 4 or 5 of them or whatever. There's some inside here. You don't have to fight anything. There's one here in the corner. Then if you go towards the back, there's gonna be more. There's one in here. No, that's probably just a mushroom. But if you go in the basement and you keep going past all the tables and everything, like a little hole here in the wall, and you're gonna find some brain fungus as well on the walls. So this is good if you're not in the mood of fighting and you only need to pick up 5. This is a pretty good location. Then you keep going down and there's going to be a few more brain fungus. But if you really need a lot for like a weekly or something, the Big Bend Tunnel West is really good. You could also do 3 in 1 next to the Nuka World here. In that Big Bend Tunnel, you can do 3 in 1. There's the mole miners, there's the canines, and there's the fungus. So if you have canine, this Big Bend is amazing. It's basically a really long tunnel. There's some side passages that have mole mines in them. So if you need to do mole mines, you come here. But there's also a ton of brain fungus. Like, you'll have at least 50 brain fungus in here, so you can't go wrong. If that's what you're farming, you need brain fungus, come to the Big End. Alright, so you gotta chew some bubble gum. You find some all the time, but today you're in a rush. Go to the pumpkin house, and once you're there should be some food in the front here in the witch's cauldron. There's a gumdrop there. I don't think gumdrops work though. I'm gonna eat it and see what happens. So that doesn't work. You gotta actually find bubble gum. So go inside the house, and on your left here on the table, there's a pumpkin, Halloween pumpkin basket, and in there's bubble gum. So pumpkin house equals bubble gum equals candy equals pies and food and all that stuff. So try to remember that. Now, if someone already took it, you can try to go to the giant teapot. There's bubblegum there too in the meat holder inside the house. So yeah, that's another spot. Alright, so kill canines, dogs basically. So a good spot is north of Vault 76, the Aaron Holt homestead. And if you come here, there's a bunch of dogs and canines. It might even trigger an event when you come here. Last time I came here to kill some canines, there was an event that triggered that. There was a bunch of dogs basically. I don't remember what it was called, but it was good to kill like 30 canines if you have that, like a weekly. Or again, like I said before, the Big Bend Tunnel West. This is a really good spot for canines. So just travel to Nuka World and go there. Inside there's going to be a bunch of dogs. There's a good, like, I'd say 10 to 15 dogs in here. You might even find legendaries, which is nice. Now this is footage from that event that I was talking to you about, the wolf pack. I had to kill a wolf pack leader. So the event is called Leader of the Pack, and yeah, if you don't have that mine that's unlocked, try to do this event and you'll get a bunch of canines to kill. Alright, so you gotta produce ceramic. This is like one of the easiest ones, but I'll put it anyways. Just go to the mall of Whitespring and pick up all the ashtrays and vases in the lobby area of the mall. And these are obviously going to give you ceramic. If you need a lot, there's also this like little eating area here, and there's a bunch of ceramic and vases here. But the whole mall has a bunch of ceramic. Just go to it even has a scrap table, so you could scrap the ceramic here, and that's how you get ceramic. If you need a lot, this is like one of the places that has a bunch of ashtrays and vases. Alright, so you gotta produce cork. Cork comes from like baseball and golf balls. It's pretty easy. If you go to the Lizard Water Park or the Crocodile Water Park, and right past this fountain at the entrance, there's a game where you have to throw baseballs. So pick up those baseballs. There's 3 of them there on the table, and then after go a bit right, and there's like a food court, and there's a red stall in the middle. So inside there is a game where you have to use golf balls to basically throw them in baskets. So you're gonna find a bunch of golf balls in here, and these are all gonna give you cork. So just pick up all the little baseballs and golf balls that you find in here, and it's gonna give you some cork. You might have to fight some scorchers here, or scorched, and there's a basket here full of balls, so shoot that basket. It's gonna fall to the ground, and you can like pick up the balls that were in it, and then you just go smash them. I don't know how much it's gonna give me, but if I go see my junk here, you'll get cork for the baseball. You'll get 2, and golf balls you'll get 1. So that's enough to make a daily. Complete a daily quest. Basically go in your journal and look at the dailies that you have. One that I like to do a lot is just the teapot. So basically, if you have 10 pieces of honey in your stash or whatever, take them with you and bring them to the giant teapot, which is above the rusty pick. So I'm going to fast travel there first, and then the giant teapot north of it. And you want to go to the house that's next to the teapot. There's a robot in there. You want to talk to him to start the daily mission. And usually he asks you to basically go get 10 honey. Sometimes you have to click on him once in a while, or start the actual quest, toggle it active or something. I don't know. Sometimes it's Bethesda, right? So it doesn't work. So when you talk to him, he's going to say, welcome back. He's going to say, can you go get me some honey? You say yes. And then what you want to do is wait 5 seconds before talking to him again. Make him think that you actually left to go get that honey. And after the 5 seconds, you talk to him again. He's going to say, oh, you're back. And you basically give him the honey. And that's going to complete your daily quest. If you don't have the honey, just go get it. It's not far. Or you can do the pumpkin house. He basically asks you to go get 10 pumpkins. They're not far. Although every time I do that pumpkin mission, I get a scorch beast or something flying around. So this one's like one of the easiest one, especially if you already have honey. So just complete this one and you'll get that daily quest. Also, if there's bubblegum here, pick it up, because sometimes you have a daily that you gotta chew some bubblegum. So pick it up there. And next up we have Deathclaw. So if you're looking for a Deathclaw, or you need Deathclaw eggs, or anything that has to do with Deathclaw, especially if you need some ingredients for a recipe, you can get some recipes off that guy at the mall, or you could come here and talk to this robot, and she sometimes have some of the meat that you might be missing for your dailies. So I'm gonna look for Deathclaw meat, because she has one, and I need some for the mission or daily of Deathclaw Wellington. So if you don't know where to get a Deathclaw, just go to Deathclaw Island and kill the Deathclaw there. I need basically 2 Deathclaw eggs, Deathclaw meat, 2 of them, pepper, salt, and all that stuff. So for pepper and salt, you can go to the overseer's house. She has pepper and salt on her table if ever you need. But once you're at the island, the Deathclaw Island, walk around and you're gonna eventually see a Deathclaw come out of the ground here. Unless another player just came here and killed it. But they're not that bad. They're not like Fallout 4 Deathclaws. They're pretty easy, one of the easiest. I think the yogurts are even harder. But kill the Deathclaw that comes out here, and wherever he came out of is like a kind of like a nest, the Deathclaw nest. So you could also find eggs there. But he's got the Deathclaw meat that you're gonna need, and a bunch of other stuff. But look around his nest, because there's probably some eggs here somewhere. Like you can even click sometimes on like a pile of bones. That doesn't look like much, but there's actually eggs in there. There's some food here as well. So sometimes you could find like salt and pepper in here, or whatever it is, to complete that recipe. Let's see. Oh, there's also a recipe in here. I don't think the dailies they're not going to ask you to do something that you don't have as a recipe. Hopefully, because that'd be weird. Then you'd have to like look for that recipe. So I think the dailies match up with whatever recipe you have. But see, there's some caps here. There's a log for wood. But sometimes you can click on these bones and they give you like, it's gonna say Deathclaw nest or something like that somewhere here, and then you could like click on it and it gives you an egg, but I guess not here. There's other Deathclaw nests as well. There's also a safe here, so if you come here you can open the safe, and there's also a trunk in the boat, so go check out the boat. There's a red trunk and you can find some loot in there. Another good spot is the abandoned waste dump right over here, so almost in the forest, kind of hidden away here. There's 2 nests, and I'm gonna sneak here because I don't want to wake up any Deathclaw. I have the meat, but I need the eggs, so just look for the nest here in front of the opening. There's an egg on the floor, so you could click on that, pick up the egg. I think there's a nest on the other side as well of this hole here. I don't know where the Deathclaw is, but I don't want to wake it up. So right here where there's the dead Brahmin, there's another nest, and there's eggs in there. There's cracked eggs or full eggs. So once you're in there, get the eggs and go back to cooking. So you're gonna need like Deathclaw eggs, meat, pepper, wood, and boiled water to make all of this Deathclaw Wellington. It's worth 58 caps. It's not bad. Must be a good 37% food. That's a good, I mean, it's hard to make, but that's a good recipe. It's good food. And that should complete that one. Let me see here if how much food does it actually give me? Yeah, that's quite a bit. It's almost like half my bar, 50%. So you got to eat it. Make sure you eat it if it's asking you to eat it. And speaking of eat, let's go eat some cake, some pies, and some candies. One good spot is the pumpkin house, obviously. There should be candy here, right? So when you come in, right here on the side, there's cotton candy bites. Why isn't it showing up as a candy? But it should. Maybe I'm not tracking it. Then you come inside and there's gumdrops here. There's bubble gum. Okay, so the gumdrops work, but the cotton candy doesn't. It's cotton candy. How is it not candy? What the hell? Anyways, but in here there's some pie. So there should be one on the table, one on the counter. A nice recipe there. So get this second pie here. Then you could come upstairs. There might be some sugar bombs. That's sugar. Yes, candy. So if you still need more, go to Nuka Cola World and go up the path towards the roller coaster. And there's going to be some food stands on the right hand side before the entrance of the roller coaster, right over here. And if you're on a private server, there's going to be 3 pies, so eat those, and that should also get you what you need. Hopefully it wasn't eaten by other players. And another good tip for candy is just visit other people's camps. They might have a candy machine. This is like the quickest and easiest way for candy. Or you can go to Tyler County Fairgrounds and you'll find some there. Alright, next up we have eat a cooked meal in a teammate's camp. That is pretty straightforward. So for those of you who don't know how to do this, just go get some food in your camp or someone else's camp. Cook it with some boiled water. Make sure it's, I don't know if drinks count, but try to stick to food in case it tells you food. Travel to your friend's camp, and once you're there, just eat it and should complete it. Pretty easy. Next up, we got fiber optics. This one sometimes kind of tricky, but if you go to the Whitespring resorts inside the refuge, there are these microscopes in the medical bay, so pick up those. I think there's 3 of them, and that should give you some fiber optics when you trash it. If they've been taken by another player, go to Ella's bunker right over here on top of Dolly Sods. This is a great bunker that has a lot of stuff in it. You can find some pretty good stuff, but once you go deep into the bunker, not super deep, but deep enough, there's going to be a few things here, and there's a bunch of telescopes. You might even be able to find like 5 of them. There's 2 here, there's one on the counter over there, there's another one on these shelves and stuff like that, but I have enough here, so I'm just going to trash it. There's also a table, which is perfect. So if you see the microscope, it gives me fiber optics, so I'm going to trash that. Another good place is the frat house. So for those of you know the frat house, that has the little Nuka Cola bedroom in there, there's a telescope in there as well if you really need more fiber optics, but Ellis bunker should be enough with the medical bay to complete. Next up we got floaters. So let's go kill some floaters. For this one, you want to go right over here on top of Whitesprings, the safe and clean disposal. It has 3, I believe, floaters, which should be enough. See those little like green and red and blue little smoke coming out there? If you go step on it, it's gonna make a floater come out of it, and you could kill one of them. And there's a blue one here. I'm gonna just walk on it to wake him up. He comes out, that's a floater. And I think the red one came out at the same time here. Yeah, he got alerted. So they're kind of annoying. They put you on fire, they freeze you. Like all 3 of them together can really be a devastating combo. Also, another good spot is at the spruce knob channels under foundation, and around here there's maybe 1 or 2 of these floaters. So if you're really missing one, you could come down here and get it, in case you're really missing that one floater. Alright, if you're looking for glass, makeshift vault is pretty good. There's a lot of bottles in here. So when you come inside, I'll show you where they are. You just gotta go down the ramp here to the left. And then we're gonna go right up the ramp here. And in the corner there, there's some bottles. Quite a few bottles actually. A rum bottle, there's this one on the floor as well. There's a crate here full of bottles you can pick up. So if ever you're missing glass for some reason, there's a lot here. There's also an alcohol you can drink. And inside here, there's some more bottles. 2 there. There's a bunch of bottles here. And also the guy who gives you the daily ops mission, his place is full of bottles. So you can go to his place and get a bunch of glass there. That's the daily ops guy. So there's 11 bottles here. Gives you 20 glass. It's pretty good if you're looking for glass. Alright, for lead, we're gonna go to Charleston Fire Department over here. It's right next to the Dirty Pick. You could actually travel to the Dirty Pick and walk here. It's not far. And inside the fire department, you want to go into the main entrance, past the water fountain, and once you're inside, go through the red door right here, and then turn right, and there's going to be a gym room. And in this gym room, there's all these weights here. So don't worry about weight, pick up everything, because there is actually a table that we can scrap this in the fire station house. So just pick up everything. Don't worry about encumbrance. The skeleton died with a piece of weight on him too. It's not a good way to go, but he was probably like in the middle of the blast. All right, so I think I took most of them. Depending on how many you need, take everything. And then walk out here towards where the trucks are in the garage. And there's a table in here. A good trick is to look at the where the truck is pointing. It's pointing at a table. So just go in that room and you're gonna see a table here, and you could trash your dumbbells and get your lead. And you get a lot actually. You get quite a bit. Like each one gives you like 5 lead. I'm getting 79 lead just from this gym alone. So that's pretty good. Alright, so you're looking for gas canisters or Radaway or maybe a few bonus things. You want to go to Big Bend Tunnel, the east entrance, which is where the red part starts, kind of east of Foundation. and you want to fast travel there. And once you're there, you're gonna see there's like Vinny, and there's a bunch of gas canisters that you can pick up, aluminum canisters, gas canisters. If you need a lot of gas canisters, Westec, I think, is pretty full in the main room, the first main room. There's full of gas canisters because I think they were trying to burn their proof or whatever. So you see like a pile of documents with a bunch of gas canisters around it. So that's a Westec, but that's if you need canisters. Next up we have cripple a ghoul's leg, or anything basically that has to do with ghouls. Vault 76 has a bunch of ghouls down the stairs. So once you fast travel, come down the stairs, and you're gonna see some ghouls that are gonna come out and start attacking you if there's no other players that already got here and killed them. Some of them are lying down, so taking a nap, or sunbathing or whatever, but you could shoot them in the leg or arm or whatever it is while they're on the floor. Ghouls are good to shoot in the leg because then you could take your time and shoot them in the other leg because they're slow and they're not running at you, giving you a beating or whatever. So yeah, if you need anything that has to do with ghouls, the bottom steps of the Vault 76 is a good place to go, especially if you have like legs and limbs. Like you have to do 18 legs. Each leg counts per ghoul, so it's 2 legs. Alright, for glowing fungus, if you need glowing fungus, go to Nuka World, turn around, and you're gonna see the Tunnel of Love. And in here, you got plenty, like a lot of this glowing fungus. Just keep going down the tunnel, and you're gonna get a bunch. There's some here, some there. There's also some in the chapel. You're getting married with glowing fungus around you. There's fungus everywhere in here, so you get the point. Next up we have kill a Gulper. So Gulpers, kind of annoying, kind of hard to beat if you're a new player especially, but Thunder Mountain Substation has some, maybe 3 or 2 right underneath the hole there that's on the map. And once you get here, it kind of looks like a generator grid or a power grid or something like that. And there's going to be Gulpers in there. They might be fighting anglers or something else, but yeah, you're gonna have your fight with some Gulpers here. I put my power armor against these guys because I don't know why, but I really have a hard time. I do some pretty decent damage to them, but they're still pretty tough. So yeah, new players, you might want to be careful with the Gulpers. Next up we have hack a terminal. Where's a terminal when you need one? Well, you want to go to Fort Atlas, and then once you come inside, go right up the stairs and Paladin Romani's computer. It's a 0 terminal skill required, so you can basically hack this terminal, and that's going to give you that daily. Quick and easy, no fighting. Next up we have harvest a plant or fungi. This is basically really one of the easiest ones. If you planted anything in your camp, just pick up that. Food, potatoes, basically anything in a farm. If you don't have a farm or a camp or a farm in your camp, just go to Foundation, and before going inside Foundation, there's one on the right side. Next up we have kill insects. Where's a good place that has a lot of insects and bugs? Let's see here. New River Gorge Resort, right over here. There's a lot of Mirelurks here, but they don't count. But never mind the Mirelurks here. There's a lot of bloatflies. So if you have to kill some insects, this is the place to come. You need to kill 5 usually, but there's like 10 of them here, so you should be okay, unless again another player passed by. But just walk around here. In the back of the main building, there's going to be some ghouls, maybe some Mirelurks in the pool, but they don't count. You have to really go for these bloatflies. Those are the insects that you want to kill to complete your daily. As a bonus location, north of Dolly Sod's Lookout, there's a tree, kind of like a a treehouse. It's not on your map, but if you walk north of here, there's a treehouse with some pretty good loot and flying insects all around it. So it's those big, what are they called, blood suckers or something like blood, those guys. Yeah, the blood bugs. So if you need more insects, this treehouse over here has quite a bit all around it. So this is north of Dailies. All right, Mirelurks. You got to do something with Mirelurks. In my case, it's limbs, but Mirelurks you can find south of Foundation at the Spruce Knob Lake. So once you come here, just go to the lake, and there's going to be a bunch of Mirelurks walking around. You might want to be careful because there's also sometimes a Mirelurk queen under the water, kind of hidden. So I try not to put my feet in the water or swim, because sometimes the queen pops up and gives me a heart attack, and I don't know how many heart attacks I can keep doing from that Mirelurk queen. So yeah, I don't put my foot in here anymore. But there's quite a bit of Mirelurks. If you have a scope, you can get them pretty good from far. But yeah, you don't want to mess around with a Mirelurk queen, especially if you're a new player. My missile launcher did like 10% damage. It's not much, so be careful. Also, another good spot is where we just were for the bloatflies. New River Gorge Resort. Gorge Resort. So once you're in here, you want to go to the back. There's a house with a light right there, and you can't get in it because the door's kind of like barricaded, but inside there's 2 Mirelurks. So you can try to shoot them from like a little opening here, but you don't need to. You could actually go inside if you want to. Sometimes you might need to, because the second Mirelurk is on the 2nd floor, and to get inside this house you have to go from underneath. So there's like a broken thing here that you try to jump, but you can't unless you have like a jetpack or something. But if you go underneath the house, there's a little path here, and then you could go up where the floor broke. And the second Mirelurk is usually upstairs, but I think he came down. I think I saw him running down somewhere. But if you can't find him, you hear him, but you can't find him, he's in here, he's in this room. So once you've killed those 2, go north from the cabin, like really close. It's not far. It's the pool area of the resort, and in the pool area there's going to be a bunch of Mirelurks as well. So you can just come here, kill them, do the limb damage, whatever it is that you need to do. Also, another really good spot is Highland Marsh, right over here. It's east of the pumpkin house. So Highland Marsh is a good place for Mirelurks, and it's a really good place for Mirelurk eggs as well. So be careful here. You want to sneak as well if you don't want to get into a fight. There is a Mirelurk queen or king. If you're unlucky, there might be both, which are kind of tough, and you don't want to mess around. So is that a king there? I know the queen's huge, but there's the king. Sometimes he's small, but he's annoying, and the sound effect that he has just doesn't make sense. I don't know who the sound design was on the Mirelurk king, but it's the worst, and they should change it. But anyways, here are the eggs. So once you travel here, there's a bunch of eggs. Just click on them. They might be bugged. Some eggs, you click on them, they explode, and then there's an egg inside or whatever. But yeah, if you have to mod a weapon, best thing is to just change the paint on it if you can. So if it's telling you mod a weapon, just change the paint. It's 1 oil. If you have to kill some mole miners, so I get these a lot, quite often, and it's not bad because they give you black titanium scrap, which can be useful for like power armors. So what you want to do is go to Blackwater Mine. That's east, a little bit east of White Springs, and Blackwater Mines has a bunch of mole miners. And a good way to remember this is that, well, the mole miners are all like in this black clothes, black armor. So anything to do with mole miners, you want to go to Blackwater Mine. Once you're inside, there's going to be a bunch, quite a bit actually. Maybe I'd say 10 to 15 mole miners in here. especially if you go all the way to the end, you're gonna find a bunch of mole miners. And a bonus, if you have to do oil, there's a bunch of oil in there too. Also, another good spot for mole miners is the Welch, right here in the Ashlands, next to the train station. So fast travel to the train station that's next to Welch, and once there, go on the other side of the train station to the actual town, and there should be a bunch of mole miners here too. There's some already on the roof here, so I'm gonna get rid of that guy. And there's quite a bit in this town, so go down, jump down, and travel around. A lot of players use this area for mole miners, so you might go there and not have anybody, but you could also go to like abandoned mine shaft 4, just up there, and you can also find extra mole miners here in case you need like 30 of them for a weekly or something. So Blackwater Mine, Welch, you could go to the abandoned mines shaft 2 once you're finished. So mine shaft 4 and 2 is a pretty good spot. So once you get to 2, there's going to be a bunch of mole miners here as well. I really hope you're learning something. If you're watching the entire video, make sure to like and subscribe if you are. But yeah, let's go with mole rats now. So if you got to do some mole rats, a good spot is that I find is right north of Slocum Joe at Galley Mine. So in here, a lot of players don't really go for the mole rats. So you should get 5 like right at the entrance. It's pretty quick. You might get a few like scorched or what are they called, ghouls, but if not, there's going to be at least 5 mole rats. There's also, I think, a mole rat king or queen or mother. If you go deeper down, if you need like a lot of mole rats, this is a pretty good mine for that. So just coming down the shaft here, I killed 5. All right, so you got to do something with Mothman eggs, an omelet, or just pick them up or whatever. So Mothman eggs are with the cultists, so they kind of look like this icon here. There's some here too next to Vault 70. I don't think there's any eggs in there. I don't remember, but I wouldn't go there yet. I would keep that last because I don't think there's eggs there. Where I'm sure there's a lot of eggs is going to be next to the crater, east of it. So I'm going to fast travel to crater, and then right here, Sacrament. This has some good cultists and eggs. So you want to be careful here. Sometimes they have guys with flamethrowers and stuff like that. So be careful. And if you have fireproof, the perk, put it on, because yeah, they use a lot of fire. These guys, they baptize you in fire. Flamethrowers and molotovs and all that stuff. So if you have the perk fireproof, put it on. It's gonna help you. And once you're inside this camp here, these are the little Mothman eggs. So you want to pick these up. I like to call them RC wheels. They look like little remote control car wheels or Hot Wheels tires or something. That's what they look like. Like, you know, the monster truck tires on those Hot Wheels. Anyways, those are the eggs, so you want to go and pick them up there. You got to kill mutated enemies. Aren't they all mutated? No, they are not. You can find some in daily ops. Unfortunately, I try to reroll this one. If you run out of rerolls, just go to your daily ops, and you don't have to complete the daily ops. You just got to kill the mutated enemies inside it. So it's going to see enemy mutation. You accept, you go into the daily op, and they're going to be mutated. It's not going to say in their name that they're mutated, but most of them inside daily ops are mutated with something. Like this guy's mutated with gas or whatever. So kill 10 of these guys in the op, leave the op, and you'll have it completed. So you got to drink some Nuka Cola. All right, so for this one, you can go to Nuka Cola World on tour. Obviously, there's a bunch of Nuka Cola there. If you go to the actual like restaurants or the stalls or the concession stands or whatever you want to call them, sometimes they're just laying around there. If you go to the shops, the 4 shops there, the containers, there's some Nuka Cola inside the containers at the shops next to the roller coaster. And if you have a lot of caps and you don't care, you can come to these vending machines here, and they usually sell basically all flavors. So if you get a daily that tells you drink quantum, drink grape, or whatever, come here, you could just buy it. They do have a limit though, so you can't buy all of them. Like quantum, you only get one, so if you have to get 5, it's gonna be tough. Another really good spot is Fraternity Row next to Morgantown. So fast travel to Fraternity Row, and once you're here, you're gonna look left and go up the road. Just follow the yellow line, follow the yellow brick road line here. Every time you come here, this is the best spot for Nuka Cola. Kill the ghouls and then come to the house here, the Fraternity House. It has blue ribbons, blue door, and it's got a lot of Nuka Cola. So what you want to do is come here. There's a fridge on the side and an employees only door. If you can, unlock the fridge. There's going to be some Nuka Cola in there. I got unlucky, but if you're lucky, you might even get like 2 or 3 Nuka Colas in here. What's that? A light bulb. Go to employees only. This is the Nuka Cola room, and right there on the shelf you might find 5, even 6 sometimes Nuka Colas, and you'll get different flavors. So this guy, I guess he was a Nuka Cola fan, collector, or whatever, and he had one of each bottle on his shelf here. So yeah, this is a good spot for Nuka Cola. Next up we have produce oil. So you got to scrap and get some oil. Blackwater Mine has a bunch. So black water, think of black water equals oil. Oil looks like black water. So Blackwater Mine, there's lanterns in here that give oil. There's oil canisters. There's a pickaxe that you guys want. You really want to pick up that pickaxe. Well, maybe not anymore, but you used to. Then there's a lantern here. There's another oil canister on the floor. If you go where there's the Charlie, there's going to be Mr. Handy Fuel canisters here, 3 of them. That's going to give you a bunch of oil. And as a bonus in this mine, there's a lot of mole miners. So if you have mole miners to do, this is a good cave for mole miners and oil. Another good spot is, again, Fraternity Row, but underneath there is the tattoo parlor. So go to the tattoo parlor if you're missing oil, or if you're just not in the mood of fighting, or you don't need mole miners. And in the basement there's a bunch of oil, so you're gonna find some aluminum canisters. Here we go, oil canister there, fuel tank up there, there's another oil canister right over here, and where else? There was a few more. There's a fuel tank on the floor, I believe. Yeah, right here. And then when we go into the next room where Biv is, you're gonna find more. I think it's on the floor as well in this room. It's an oil canister right here in the corner, and on the shelf there's another one, industrial oil canister. So yeah, there's a lot of oil, guys, in Biv's little place here. Next up, you gotta pick a lock. The easiest one is at Whitespring Resort. It's free fast travel, there's no bad guys. And once you come in, you want to go right all the way to the big recreational room that has the big chandelier. And on the right again, there's going to be 2 cabinets, and they're both locked. So you can choose which one you want to unlock. This one here is skill 0, pretty easy, and skill 1. So if you have a skill 0 or you don't do lockpicking, come here and get your daily done. And if you do have, then you might get a fusion core. Alright, pipe guns. So we gotta do something with pipe guns. Where do you find pipe guns? A really good, easy, consistent area is the Organ Caves next to Vault 76. So pretty easy to get to. Fast travel's pretty free and close. And once you go inside, there's gonna be a bunch of cultists, and they all have like these pipe revolvers, or they all have pipe weapons basically. So clear out the cave, basically kill all the cultists, and then you're gonna come to this room where someone's always like working on something at a table, and they're gonna have a pipe pistol. There's one here on the shelf as well. There's ammo box that you could unlock, And what's cool is that there's already a table. So once you come in here and you get all the pipe guns you need, just come to the table and smash them or craft them or break them or whatever, and they're gonna count. You could also craft these and then break them, but if you want to save on materials, you could just come to this cave, get it off these guys, and you'll complete that. Bowling pins give you plastic, so if you're looking for plastic, come to the Whitespring Resort and you want to go inside. Once inside, you're going to turn right. I think I'm encumbered, so I can't really run, but this gives you a nice idea of where to go. So go right past the bar where there's alcohol, past the medical bay where there's fiber optics, and then in here there's the bowling alley, and each one of these pins is going to give you plastic. Now if you need a lot of plastic, pool tables are really good, especially if they have the balls on them. So each ball is 2 plastic. So if you find a pool table that has all the balls on it, you know, just pick them up and that's going to give you plastic. This table here with all the balls are basically next to Nuka Cola World. You go to Roland's Labor Camp right here, and there's an outdoor one. If you don't want to fight anybody, go to Fort Atlas and go downstairs. Once you're inside, go downstairs and there's a pool table, and there's a bunch of balls here too. And these are, each one is going to give you 2 plastic. So if you do both tables, this one and the one at the Blood Eagles, that's a pretty good plastic run. Next up we have Craft Power Armor. So where you want to go is Gilman Lumber Mill. There's a power armor there sometimes, or you could just craft one and then scrap it, and that's going to count as crafting or scrapping. Or you can go to Nuka Cola World and then fast travel down to the mining headquarters all the way south of the Ashlands. And here it's a little bit harder to get to because there's like mines, and there might be a sentry bot in the front. But once you get to the basement, there's quite a bit of power armor stuff. You get power armor pieces, chassis, fusion cores. So yeah, if ever you need to do something with power armor, you could come down here. You might find some pieces on the table. There's also some fiber optics in here. You saw the telescope there that has some. This is a right leg. So basically here in this mining area, they were building the excavator power armor, and these are all like pieces that they were trying to use or prototype or whatever. So if you need a chassis or power armor part or anything like that, the basement of Graham Mining headquarters is where you want to go. But be careful, there might be an Assaultron in the basement. Alright, so you gotta eat some pre-war food. One of the easiest ways is to join a group that has high-level players, and then look for their camp, because usually they have like a candy machine or something like that. So let me go to this guy's camp. It's a free fast travel, and he's got a candy machine. So if you pick that up, you'll basically pick up pre-war food. If you have to eat it, just eat that candy and it's also going to work. If you can't find a camp that has a bubblegum, go to the Pumpkin House. Pumpkin House has a lot of pre-war food, cotton candy right here, gums, anything that's packaged, gum drops. You pick that up, Dandy Boy apples. The Pumpkin House is just full of pre-war food. Alright, so now we need pre-war money. The easiest place to go is Nuka Cola World, because each one of these little shops has a cash register. So look for the 4 shops that are next to each other, get the cash register money from there. You can get some at these games right on the table, just lying around there. The fortune teller has money in front of her. There's a cash register here. These bottles have cash on the counter and in the register. So yeah, do the turn of basically Nuka Cola. There's cash registers everywhere over here, and they're all going to give you some kind of money. Even close to the roller coaster, there's restaurants, They have cash registers. Go inside where the roller coaster is. You'll find some Nuka Cola and more little shops here on the side. There's a whole U of restaurants here and shops and things like that. So all you gotta do, depending on how many you want, how much you need, you could even go inside and find some cool things in the back here. Caps, Nuka Cola. Yeah, but all of this pre-war money is going to give you cloth as well. So if you're looking for cloth, pre-war money is the way to go. I mean, you get the drift here. Basically, you know, just go from stall to stall, getting the pre-war money. I made 32 off one run there. So you got to collect Radaway or Rad-X. The lumber mill is pretty good because there's basically, it's kind of like a hospital, and there's like doctor bags in here and stuff like that. So even on the second floor there on the balcony, I think there's some Radaway or whatever. So when you come here, just look for the doctor bags. There's some stim packs here. In there might have been duct tape. There's one there. You found one Radaway. I'm just gonna look around because they don't always spawn a Radaway every single time where you find a Radaway. Sometimes it's gonna be something else. It's not always the same thing, because on this balcony I found Radaway once, and on a second occasion it was Rad-X, and then another time it was just an empty IV bag. So I think sometimes they have like random items, or they're similar items. But what's good here is you have 2 first aid kit boxes as well. So when you come here, there might be like a Radaway or something in these first aid boxes. But yeah, look around here. You might find some really good materials. If you come outside and then go upstairs to the balcony, right over here, there's going to be a blood pack or a Rad-X or a Radaway. So yeah, go to the balcony, and whatever you don't find, there's a medical supply right here. And then you could buy your Radaway, your Rad-X, whatever it is you need that's left over that you couldn't find in the lumber mill. You can just come here and buy it. If you really don't want to spend any caps, you could always go to Nuka Cola World again. Nuka Cola World is pretty good. Once you travel in, go left and look for the doctor, the first aid booth here. There's going to be 2 first aid kits, and you might get lucky and find some Radaway in there. There's also a copy paste of this exact booth next to the roller coaster. You could also create or craft. Let's see if that works. If you have the actual recipe for Radaway, or even maybe Rad-X diluted. Let's see if that worked. There you go. So you could just make some diluted Rad-X or diluted Radaway or whatever. If whatever you can't find, just create it. But yeah, if you go up, keep going up, and then go left where the roller coaster is, there's another first aid at the end of all these little shops. There's a first aid container, and there's also 2 there's a stim pack here and Radaway in here. So you might get lucky and not have to spend money or materials. Yeah, so there's 4 first aid boxes at Nuka Cola World. If you're looking to do some stuff to Radtoads, like critical hit damage, go to Sludge Hole. This has 3, maybe 2, sometimes 4 Radtoads, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good spot for Radtoads. If you're looking for Radtoads, there's no players that come here very often, or you can go to Grafton if there's no Radtoads there. And what you want to do is go to this yellow house right over here, and there's going to be a Radtoad there at the yellow house in front of it or around it. If you're having a hard time finding it, look for like a yellow roof. That's not a house, it's just a roof, and it's going to be there. Another good spot is the Dolly Sands workshop right north of Carson Family Bunker. So if you go there, you're gonna find more Radtoads. So if you have a weekly that you gotta kill like 10 of these guys or whatever, that's 3 locations that has a bunch of Radtoads. Guys, please, if you're looking at this video and you know some spots that are better, or for anything that I've mentioned so far, just write it in the comments. Let us know. So if someone can't find something, they could scroll through the comments and maybe find something. Next up, you gotta kill a rad stag. So for this one, there's a bunch north of Slugbone Vantage, right here between the 2 mountain lines over here. And I like to travel to Seneca Rocks Visitor Center, so fast travel there. I put a pin usually between the lines so that I know exactly where I have to go on the map, and then I just follow the pin on my radar right over there. And there's gonna be a bunch of rad stags there, hopefully, if another player has not already killed them all. But I'm gonna come up here just to show you where they are, but they're at the bottom there. If I could zoom in, so they're, yeah, right there. So there's a bunch over here. I'm gonna go down and show you how many there actually spawn. There's usually like 5 or 6 of them. So like, look at all this meat and hide I got. There was a bunch. So once you come to this area, you're not gonna have a hard time finding rad stag. Like if you need meat and stuff like that, it's also a good spot. Next up, we have destroy a robot. Okay, well, that's pretty straightforward. Robots, there's a lot of robots at Garahan mining headquarters. The only thing is that there's a sentry bot in the front sometimes, like right over here, but if you can handle it, then go for it. That's 1 extra robot, or you could just sneak past it. I like to blow up the cars that are next to it, do as much damage like that before I get into the fight. And once you've killed whatever was in front, you can come inside here down the escalators. Be careful, there's mines. Go inside, and there's a bunch of robots inside the Graham Mines headquarters. This is basically where there was the invention or creation of the excavator power suit, but there's also a bunch of robots. So if you need power suits or power armors or whatever, there's a bunch in the basement here, but there's also a bunch of robots. So if you have to like destroy limbs or arms or legs of robots or whatever, this is a pretty good spot. Also, the Red Rocket Mega Center, the highway stop, this has a bunch of robots too, but a lot of players know about it. So you might get here and like find a bunch of dead robots, but there is a bunch of robots. So there's also an Assaultron over here as well. So just be careful if you're a new player. There's a lot of robots here. And obviously Watoga is a good spot for robots. It's basically a city full of robots, and like there's also these generators that generate robots. And here's a tip: if you destroy both arms on these protectrons, they basically go into like self-destruct mode and they start freaking out, so you don't even need to waste any more bullets. They'll just blow up eventually. You'll hear like a beeping and they'll explode, and it's kind of a cool little mini nuke. So I did it on this guy and he just explodes, which is good because sometimes they damage other robots. So yeah, shoot off their arms and you'll have a mini nuke explosion. Alright, so we got to scrap junk to produce rubber. Rubber, a lot of it is at Grafton. Once you get to Grafton, there's a school on the left side here, and there's going to be some super mutants, but deal with them. Go in the school and then turn right. There's a corridor there that's going to take you all the way to the gym, and in the gym you're going to find kickballs inside this basket here. There's a bunch. Or open this door and there's another basket full of these kickballs, and this is going to be giving you a lot of rubber. So if you need rubber, or if you need it for a daily or a weekly or whatever like that, there's some rubber here. And if you need anything for sports, like a golf ball, baseball, sports clothing, baseball bat, glove, It's all over here as well. So sporting's goods and rubber is at the Grafton High School. Just so you know, let me check how many rubber you get from these kickballs. Go in junk and kickball. You get 3 rubber each. That's pretty good. So yeah, it's a good farming. Next up we have collect teapots. Obviously you're gonna find a bunch of teapots at Palace of the Winding Path. Basically it's tea headquarters, and once you go here there's gonna be a bunch of teapots everywhere. You can't miss them. Just get ready for scorched, because there's a bunch of scorched in here. But as soon as you walk in or you go down the stairs, there's a little room here on the side that has a teapot here. Gonna turn on my light. Teapot there. There's another one here, and there's like another probably like 20 of them in this building. So teapots, they're all over here, which probably gives you a lot of ceramic as well. Kill a scorched. So if you have to do anything with scorched, like their limbs or kill them or anything, scorched, a good spot is the Pleasant Valley Ski Resort. And here you're gonna find a bunch of scorched. When you fast travel to it, there's like a defensive wall kind of entry, and there's a bunch of scorched manning this wall or protecting it. So you could go up the stairs, kill those scorched. Once you're up there, just look around and you'll find some even down below. There's basically 5 or 6 scorched manning the towers. And once you get inside, go all the way to the end, and you're gonna find the entrance to the actual ski lodge. And in here there's a bunch of scorched as well. I'm sure there's a bunch of other spots that has scorched, but this is the one I go to. I kind of know where they are, so it's easy for me to go around and killing the scorched. There might be like 2 or 3 up here. But if another player hasn't passed here yet, it's pretty easy to get 10 scorched outside and inside of the ski resort. But I like to also come up on this balcony. There's a trunk and a duffel bag that sometimes has some good stuff. And there's also a magazine. If not, go to the county fairgrounds, and even here there's going to be a bunch of scorched. So if you're missing some from the ski resort, you can come here. There's definitely a good 10 for sure over here. If not, you can go across the street. There's a racetrack full. You could also go to Morgantown Train Yard. This train yard is full of scorched as well. So if you need to kill like 30 of them for a weekly or whatever, these 3 spots are pretty good. You should get all your 30. If not, you could also go to the Winding Path, basically the tea house. And there's a bunch of scorched in here as well. So we're not missing any scorched. Next up, we have to scrap clothing, armor, or a weapon. Mole miners is the best for this. It's pretty good. They always drop weapons, armor. Basically, mole miners, you go to Blackwater, kill a bunch of mole miners, and then come into this room here. There's even a red trunk and a table that's gonna allow you to like smash everything, and this is all dropped from only the mole miners in here. So missile launchers, mole miner gauntlets, those are weapons. So basically each mole miner is going to drop 2 weapons, because they drop the gauntlet and one of their weapons. So it's really good to come here, because you also do sometimes 2-in-1, the mole mines and the destruction of weapons. Next up, we have scrap junk to produce screws. A lot of people need screws and want to look for them. A good farming location is the Overseer's house. Once you get here, turn right. There's a blue house. And what you want to do is go down to that blue house. And inside, you might find some stuff that has screws. So go to the 2nd floor. And we're going to go inside the room of the Overseer. There's a globe that's going to give you a screw. I don't think Toy Alien is going to give you anything. But this typewriter in the room here as well, that's going to give you a screw. So far we have 2 screws there. There's an alarm clock as well. There's gumdrops. Just like to show you other things in case you have a photographic memory, you'll remember all this stuff. But once you have the globe and the typewriter from that blue house, we're going to come out and go to the overseer's house, because the overseer's house has a lot of screws as well. Actually, the overseer's house has some pretty good stuff inside all the time. But yeah, once you're in here, you want to go to the bathroom right over here, and there's a box of screws. So that's going to give you some screws. Then you want to go upstairs, and in the room here, there's a desk fan. That's going to give you a screw. And then we're going to go to her office. And what's good about coming here to her office, she also has ballistic fibers right over here. Military ammo bag on the shelf. That's going to give you ballistic fiber. And there's another fan with an accordion. So these two are also going to give you screws. So we'll pick that up. There's an ammo box up here and a few different things, which is good to loot. Then we're going to come downstairs, see if there's anything in the kitchen. I don't think so. So we're going to go down all the way to the basement, because there's, I think, 1 or 2 screws here as well. There's a fan, another desk fan, so that's another screw. And maybe over here, I'm not sure if this high-powered magnet gives a screw or not, but let's see how many screws we got on this run. So accordion gives us 1. The globe gives us 1. Broken camera, no. Desk fan, we found 3 of them. The ammo bag, that's good for ballistic fibers, gives us 2 of those. Alien doesn't not give us 1, but the typewriter does, and the 3 desk fans. So you have more than enough screws here in one run without fighting anything. It's a pretty good spot for screws. Build anything in a shelter. So this one's easy, I guess. But don't mistake your camp with a shelter. That's a shelter. You can go into shelters. Your camp is not a shelter. So what you want to do is go into your camp mode and go all the way to the last tab. Those are your shelters. And then you could build a shelter, go inside it, and build something inside there. So you could have a shelter like a door like this that leads to your shelter. Or like a big vault door like this, that's also a shelter. Next up, we have to take a picture of a super mutant, or anything that has to do with super mutant. My favorite spot is Horizon's Nest, basically where the plane crashed. It's close to the overseer's house, and Horizon's Nest is good. There's always super mutants here, a bunch of them. And you could do whatever you want with them. Take pictures, shoot their arms, shoot their heads, anything that has to do with super mutants. I usually come here because it's a pretty good spot to also loot if you do have extra time. There's a trunk all the way at the top. There's always some kind of like a blueprint at the top, a plan or something. There's a lot to loot in this area. I like it. There's recipes. But yeah, if you have to do anything with super mutants, like their head, cripple their head, their arms, their legs, and right next to it there's the relay tower, and this tower too has a bunch of super mutants. Then there's Grafton Dam, so you could go there. There's a bunch of super mutants at the dam as well. So Horizon's Nest, then the relay right next to it. And if I still missing, I'm gonna come to the dam, because the dam has quite a bit of super mutants, probably like 7 or 8 in here. And the General's Steakhouse also has quite a bit of super mutants over there. Next up, we have drink tea. So to drink tea, or to make tea so that you can drink it, I like to go to Hornwright testing site, and as soon as you get here, there's some plants like the ash rose. The ash rose tea is like one of the easiest one. I think it's just that boiled water and it's done. So I come here, I get a lot of like ash rose. If you go a bit southeast of this area, there's like a little pond here, and there's some ash rose as well around this pond. And once you picked up a few ash roses, you just basically craft it. And the thing with these is that I don't know what recipes you have. It might ask you for some kind of other recipe, but this is just regular tea, so it could be anything. So just whatever is your easiest tea to make, that's the flower you want to try to go get. But rose tea should be like one of the easiest ones. Next up we have teddy bears. This comes up actually pretty often. So they're hard to find because all the other players are already picking them up. But the county fairgrounds has one teddy bear inside the aliens little ship here when you first travel in. And then all the way in the back, there's going to be some teddy bears from the game. Just take what you need, okay? Like, I need 3. And because I'm on a public server, I'll leave the other 2. But if you're not on a public server, take whatever you want. Take all the, basically take everything. But if you're playing with with like other people on the map and you don't need all of those, don't take them. I needed 9, so I took all of them. And yeah, so leave some for others if you don't need anything. If you need more teddy bears, go to Pleasant Valley Ski Resort. So up here where there's the vendor inside the ski resort, there's 3 teddy bears on the shelf here behind the vending robot. There's 3 teddy bears, and if you need another one, you can come in the office. There's a bubblegum one on the chair. Kind of hard to see, but he's there. He's on the chair. And the taxidermy house also has 2 of them. So yeah, come to the ski resort. 3 on the shelf here and 1 on the chair. Next up we have toilet paper. You can go to makeshift vault, or if you need a lot of toilet paper, another good spot is the taxidermy house, taxidermy building. But if you come to the makeshift vault, there's quite a bit of toilet paper here. I'll show you where it is. So when you come inside, go down into the big area, and they're all over there next to the toilet bowl, right up the ramp here next to it. There's a pile of toilet paper. So yeah, if you're looking for toilet paper, it's there. If you're looking for more toilet paper, we can go to Whitesprings, the north entrance, but you want to go outside and then you want to turn left. Now left has this huge utility area building, and there's a bunch of stuff in here. If you're looking for materials, this is a really good spot. So when you come in here, if you're looking for toilet paper, plungers, and soap, this is the place to be. For those of you who know, you know. But if you're looking for soap, toilet paper, look at all this toilet paper here as well. Sometimes if you open the stall door, there's going to be one on the floor. So we got 2 bathrooms here, male and female. There's another soap over here, and this is a male bathroom. We got another toilet paper here, a Braxo, guys. There's a Braxo in here. So yeah, there's also mirrors, which are cool. They give you like, you know, bobby pins, buff outs, and stuff like that. So this area actually has like a lot of stuff. This little building, I don't know, service building. There's plungers, a Braxo, soaps, toilet paper. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let me. I'm just gonna walk around here because to show you guys if you need materials, what there is in here. So that was the 2 bathrooms, male and female. There's toilet paper, a Braxo, soaps, plungers, a bunch of things like that. There's more Braxo here in the laundry room. There's pillows. If you're looking for pillows and cloth, it's all in the pillows. Antiseptic from the Braxo. But there's also 2 walls full of these basically containers that randomly generate stuff, the washer. So if you're looking for something, you're having a hard time finding it, one of these might actually like give you that that piece of junk that you need or you're looking for. There's another wall here of dryers, so you have the washer and dryers, and you can look through all of these. Like there's a typewriter there that's going to give me a screw. Pre-war money if you're looking for that kind of stuff. Like just random stuff in this service building is really practical. So if you're a new player or you're running low on materials, this service building next to Whitesprings is full of materials, and there's also a table. So whatever you pick up here, you could just smash it here. You don't even need to travel anywhere. We got screws, gears and stuff. So just by that alone, I have like 13 antiseptic, 28 cloth, fiberglass. There's a bunch of stuff. So now you need some wood. Best place for wood would be the Canon logo here next to the crater, Pickett's Fort. And basically this is a village made out of wood. So you're probably gonna find wood here. So as soon as you travel in, go up the hill and you're gonna see a building number 2. So you could come in here and there's gonna be wood against the wall. There's gonna be wood in the fireplace, and there's gonna be a stack of it over here. Now these are all individual little clusters, so you want to click on each one. If it's showing you gather wood, then you want to click on gather wood. Sometimes they're hidden in the back there. You could actually like just move your mouse or controller around against that wall and you'll pick up some wood. Another good spot for wood is also the lumber mill, obviously under Vault 76. So there's some wood there. There's logs on the floor that you could click on. It's going to give you wood. But this is like one of the best spots right here. This Pickett's Fort is the best. Once you picked up all that wood in that building number 2, you want to go to the main town here, building number 3 basically. And right in the middle of the town, there's a shed full of wood. So just come here and start clicking away, and that's going to give you basically all the wood you need. This is really good for new players. If you want to build stuff at camp or whatever, this spot is really good for wood. Alright, so we gotta kill a Yao Guai, or yogurt. Me and my wife call them yogurt when we're playing. It's easier. What you want to do for that is, if you need meat or whatever, is have Butcher's Bounty on. This is a perk that you can equip, and it's a perception perk. And sometimes it's gonna ask you for yogurt ribs, and you need like 4 of those. So that perk is really gonna help instead of having to kill 4 yogurts. But you can find 2 of them here at Dolly Sods, next to Fort Atlas, east of Fort Atlas. So you want to travel to Dolly Sods and kill them there. If you don't find any, go to Mountainside Bed and Breakfast next to Foundation, west of Foundation. It's like this pretty yellow house, but to the side here, the cliff on the left side, there's a train track. So what you want to do is follow the train track. I like to follow it from the top because I'm not a high level enough to fight 2 yogurts at the same time. So from up here, I like to fight them and at least reduce their health as much as possible. There's usually 2 of them, so just look around. Sometimes one of them wanders off a little bit. There he is. So where the train basically goes off track and down the hill, you might find another yogurt there as well. So that's going to give you some meat. And another good site is the Site Alpha right here. So there's the big satellite and the ski resort right here. Site Alpha, the star, is another yogurt. So as soon as you fast traveled in, if no other player is here, there's going to be one, so you can get the meat off that one. And finally, another yogurt spot is the cemetery, Philippi Battlefield Cemetery, south of the crater, but not in the cemetery. You want to go on the other side of the building. There's a parking lot, and in the parking lot, there's sometimes one there. So there he is. I'm going to shoot him. and hopefully I get my last piece of meat off this guy. So let's see. What happened? Oh no, is that him? The car exploded and the body went flying. I don't know where the... Oh no. Yeah, I think I lost that piece of meat. I don't know where it is. But yeah, guys, I hope this video helped. I really hope it makes your dailies a lot easier, especially for new players. But if you do a few of these, you'll know them by heart eventually, and you won't need this video anymore. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.